Okay guys, Merry Christmas. It's garden update time. We'll actually start over here. I have an experimental potato in this tub hiding under the galingo. It's doing alright so far. I've lost a few leaves. It's been very hot, very hot. Not good for potato growing, that's for sure. This is a galingo in this blue tub. As you can see, it's only half full now. We've been harvesting out of here. See the hole? In this tub I got lemongrass started and some passion fruit started, and it's not going well for the lemongrass, that's for sure. Look down through here. It's turning into the jungle that I had planned. Papaya, I harvested 2 fertilizer bags full of green papaya 3 or 4 days ago off these two trees. Mostly this one. The other one's got a few, you can see that. Those are ripe there. But being Thailand, most papaya are eaten green. Look at that, that's cool, huh? We'll start here, I guess, in the garden. Number one question I get, what's the blue pipe? These are wicking beds, meaning they have a reservoir in the bottom, and the blue pipe is the fill pipe. That's how I water the garden. I do give it a top water as well, but just a quick spray, that's all, not much. Daikon radish looking pretty good. I see there's a radish forming right there. See that? Daikon radish. After the radish is always out of the ground, yeah? That's normal. I've seen lots of people trying to force them back into the ground and wondering why they're out of the ground. It's normal. They grow halfway out of the ground, and the leaves are good to eat as well. Got some bunching onions. They're not doing nothing. This is some kind of mustard green. Tastes a little bit like arugula to me, but it's definitely not arugula. I put some radishes in here. They didn't do very much. They should have been ready to eat by now, and we just got a few little leaves, nothing much. Also planted beets again this year. A lot of beets actually. And I planted them in through here and mixed in with my shallots. Too hot, way too hot for beets. This was our seedling bed. As you can see, it's full and doing very well. We've been eating out of this bed for about 6 weeks, maybe more. This here is Thailand spinach. It makes 1,000,000 seeds. It really does. It's a weed. You can eat it, but it grows as a weed here. That'll probably go to the rabbits soon. Chinese kale. These are the mustard greens like I just shown behind me. Here we got some lettuce. Look at the mustard greens in the back, really nice. Chinese celery, yeah, that's this one here, Chinese celery. And right beside it is cilantro. Got some pak choy right there. Couple of heads of pak choy. We didn't plant pak choy. So volunteer from last year, or we got a couple of extra special seeds. This is flowering pak choy, same family, different plant. This has been harvested daily and heavy. Half of what's in here now is just weeds. These are just weeds. When you plant this close together, it is hard to weed. But there's been so much food came out of this one little 3 foot by 4 foot square, unbelievable. The dill, on the other hand, finally something going on here. This is the 3rd seeding. First 2 got nothing, or only a couple of plants, I think. Not much. Over here, these are transplanted lettuce. It's coming. It's coming. and transplanted Chinese kale. That's really nice. You see that? There's not a bug hole anywhere. Not even a bird has tried to eat it, which is pretty amazing. This is all grown without any kind of fertilizer, organic or anything. No pesticides, nothing is put in this soil or sprayed on the plants. The only thing I use for fertilizer is the water from my fish tanks. That's it. And compost. I put at least an inch of compost in every bed before we planted, and that's all that's gone in there, nothing else. We can't even buy, as far as I know, can't even buy organic fertilizer. Cucumbers, the idea here is to let them just run on the ground. There's a cucumber beetle right there. Those things are an annoyance. It's the first one I've seen this year. I did see a few flowers this morning, so it won't be long now we'll start getting some cucumbers. These are the little ones, like 4 inches long. Very good little cucumbers. Should be good. We don't grow them up a trellis anymore because it's so hot, and this year it is insanely hot. This is our cold season, by the way. It's so hot the plants just wilt all during the day, you know, and the leaves are just drooping over. It's really hard on the plants, and they don't make any fruit that way. This here is pandan leaf. It's used, they call it the Thai vanilla. It's used as a seasoning. It's very invasive, very invasive, and needs to be chopped back again. Volunteer turmeric. It should have died last month. It's still going. I don't know. It's just one of those strange years, that's for sure. This bed right here has been freshly seeded, half of it, with it's mustard green. I don't know the name. It makes a giant leaf that you could wrap around your head, but it is mustard. And as you can see, very heavily seeded. We want that ground covered. We don't want to see the ground. We have a bunch of kangkong volunteers. You see, I'll take the leaf off. The seed leaves on kangkong, or whatever you call this plant, plant with a million names. It's like a snake tongue. Very distinguishable. And this is what we grew in here last year, or last season, I guess. I just took it out when we planted when we reseeded a few days ago. Got some weeds in this half. These weeds here are actually bitter gourd. Don't plan on growing any of those, but they still come up. Not bitter melon like a lot of people get confused with. And these are snake beans just coming up. The garlic chive bed. As you can see, there's a big chunk harvested out of there. That was 4 or 5 days ago, maybe. The bed is full. A few weeds down the end, but it's doing really good again. This bed has produced a mountain of garlic chives. Well, I tell you, we've fed half the village with this one bed. It's amazing how well it grows. Over here, this bed is a kind of a failure. We transplanted these. This is flowering pak choy with a little bit of lettuce down here. We transplanted these in the evening, like we always do. And then the next day, it was like 500 degrees outside. Double covered and everything. And it really got hammered. It did really poorly, and it's going to flower already, and it's just speed up. It should be. I think the best thing to do with it is just harvest what's good and replant. Move on. Because it'll never, when it gets stunted like that, it'll never catch up. Here we have a full bed of shallots. Now we don't grow these for the shallots, we grow them for the tops. We use them like green onions. The wife harvests off of these most every day, and all she does is come by and pick off the leaves that are falling over. Just nip them off, and, you know, a few dozen of those, the plant don't suffer, and you got fresh green onions every day. And there's some beans growing, they're just starting to climb the wall. One of them is, it might only be one, long beans. Now this bed is pretty much a jungle, a right-off jungle. Got some gullingo right here. It's struggling for sun and for soil. I planted cassava in here. It's been, I don't know, close to 2 years, year and a half maybe. And it's massive. I've never seen anything like it. You see that? Look at that. My hand's the size of a snowshoe. How big that is. Big as a 4-inch pipe. Where's it go? Nobody knows. That's just what's out of the ground. Look at that. It's massive, and there's, I think, 6 plants like this. Plus we got our bananas in here that need to be thinned out again. It's a jungle in here. All of this in one raised wicking bed. Pretty cool, huh? Now that looks cool. I think that looks really cool. Alright guys, well that's it. Tour of the garden at Christmas 2018. Like I said at the start, Merry Christmas. Thanks for watching.